Part 3, should you eat meat? So God is impartial and he doesn't favor someone who eats meat over someone who doesn't. So whatever your choice is, it won't win you points or won't make you lose points. And this is echoed very accurately in 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 8. It reads as such, "But food does not bring us near to God. We are no worse if we do not eat, and no better if we do." So once again, whatever you decide to, it won't affect you in any way. To mirror what I was talking about in the second part about us being under God's grace, I'll read to you from 1 Timothy chapter 4, verses 2 to 4. "Such teachings come through hypocritical liars whose consciences have been seared as with a hot iron. They forbid people to marry and order them to abstain from certain foods which God created to be received with thanksgiving by those who believe and who know the truth. For everything God created is good, and nothing is to be rejected if it is received with thanksgiving." So the most important verse in this entire paragraph is the third one. Here where it speaks of by those who believe and who know the truth, this is referring to the notion that once again, it is not by going against Old Covenant Jewish ceremonial laws that you become unrighteous under God's eyes. So aside from that, the most important thing for anyone listening right now is about your conviction on the matter and in your faith. So what do I mean? Well, if you read Romans chapter 14, verse 6, it reads as such, "Whoever eats meat does so to the Lord, for they give thanks to God, and whoever abstains does so to the Lord and gives thanks to God." Looking a bit further on, verse 23, "But whoever has doubts is condemned if they eat, because their eating is not from faith, and everything that does not come from faith is sin." So this is a really important passage to understand, which basically means like if you've read the entire New Testament and you still think you're tied down to Old Testament laws and your faith leads you to believe that eating certain types of food is wrong, well, if you eat those food items, then you are in the wrong and it is a sin. It's really important because if you're acting against your faith, then you're sinning. So if you think eating pork is wrong, then definitely do not eat pork. Keep in mind the verses listed above depicts the intentions that count, right? It's not what you eat. And just to complement that idea, here's Romans 14, verse 14. "I'm convinced, being fully persuaded in the Lord Jesus, that nothing is unclean in itself, but if anyone regards something as unclean, then for that person it is unclean," right? So just to contextualize, if you don't think eating pork is okay, then don't go in the grocery store and don't go eat pork. However, if you know and you understand that it's not food that defiles you, and you know that pork is good to eat, then go ahead and eat your pork, no worries. So in the next part 4, we're going to look at the liberty do we have the liberty to judge others on their dietary decisions and whether that's okay or whether that's wrong, and the implications of all of this.